Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So as you know, Tuesday means Type 2 or Standard Tuesday, and we have a pretty sweet list today. So white-based human decks have been popular for quite a while now in Standard, but they've gotten a pretty sweet update with the addition of Aether Revolt. Not only do they have some powerful new humans, but they have enough good red cards that the deck is now white-red instead of some of the other splash colors we've seen. Mono-white, sometimes white-red, white-green, but now probably the best build of humans is white-red because of some really sweet new additions we get from Aether Revolt. So this build took Adam Juracek to a top 16, I believe, finish at last week's SCG Open event, so congrats to Adam on his finish with the deck. A quick reminder before we break down the deck. If you enjoy this deck and you want to see it made into videos, take a minute, click the like button, the subscribe button, leave a comment, anything you can do to support your deck, because whichever deck is most popular gets a shot at being made into videos next week. So, White-Red Humans is kind of built around Thalia's Lieutenant, but really, the basic idea of the deck is you're going to play a lot of 1-drops, a lot of really aggressive humans, and then pump them up with Lords. So in the past, Thalia's Lieutenant was the key card. This, you play your 1-drops, you play a Thalia's Lieutenant, it pumps up all your team by putting a counter on them, and then it grows like a champion of the parish whenever you cast a human. So this was one of the key cards because it makes all your 2-powered 1-drops into 3-powered 1-drops that can really do some damage to the opponent and close out the game quickly. However, with the addition of Aether Revolt, we kind of get a second Thalia's Lieutenant in Metallic Mimic, and actually it's kind of a reverse Thalia's Lieutenant. Thalia's Lieutenant you want on the battlefield after you cast humans, because Thalia's Lieutenant comes down and pumps up everything on the battlefield. Metallic Mimic you want to play first, so you play this on turn 2, then you start playing your 1-drops, and if you name human, which you will with this deck, Metallic Mimic itself is a human, but it gives all of your humans an additional +1/+1 counter, so you kind of have 8 pseudo-lords now. Plus, since Metallic Mimic itself will be a human, it will benefit from future copies of itself. You can have multiples on the battlefield, can do some really crazy things. And then we also have a single Always Watching. This card was more important before Metallic Mimic. Now that we have Metallic Mimic, Always Watching is just a one-of, because we don't need that additional pump effect when we have a creature that can do that now in the form of Metallic Mimic, but it's still a nice one-of. It allows the team to get Vigilance as well as +1/+1, which lets you play some offense, defense, have some blockers back to kind of win the race that way. And then we have all the 1-drops, and probably one of the most important reasons to be red is you have access to Inventor's Apprentice, which might look weird in this deck, but with the help of things like Thraben Inspector and a couple of other artifacts like Metallic Mimic itself, you're going to pretty consistently make it into a 2/3, and then it's a Curd Ape, and Curd Ape is a really good card. It's modern playable, so we have a Curd Ape in Standard. Thraben Inspector, the least powerful based on stats of all the 1-drops. However, it makes a clue token to pump up Inventor's Apprentice, gives you a little bit of card advantage. Town Gossipmonger flips around into a 2/3, which makes it more powerful than it looks. And then Expedition Envoy, just a Savannah Lions, a 2/1 for 1 white mana. Then we have kind of the other cards from the deck, and here again we get a new addition from Aether Revolt in Karizev Skyship Raider, but PNLR gives you another artifact to pump up your Inventor's Apprentice. It is also a human, so it benefits from Metallic Mimic and Thalia's Lancers, and it gives you a way to force through the last bit of damage by sacking a random clue token or the Thopter token to make something unblockable. Karizev Skyship Raider is also a human. It's a little odd as a legendary, so there's only 2 copies, but as a 3/1, it actually blocks a reasonable amount of things. It can get aggressive with a monkey token, and if you have a Lord or 2, it's going to have a really reasonable first striking menacing body for only 2 mana. And then Thalia helps slow down the opponent. Also a great answer to the Copycat combo. If your opponent's looking to go infinite with Felidar Guardians, they're all going to enter tap, so that combo really doesn't work until the opponent deals with Thalia. So it's more of a metagame call. It's gotten a lot better as an answer to the Copycat combo, when before it was kind of just okay. The rest of the deck, we get a bit of removal, 4 shocks, another Aether Revolt edition, just the best 1 mana removal in the format, plus it can go to the face to finish off the opponent in the late game. Declaration in Stone can get rid of a whole bunch of the same thing, great against tokens, and kills just about anything for 2 mana. Mana base, a bunch of blue-red duals, including 4 Needle Spires, which is nice. Post-Wrath, you have a mana sink if you kind of flood out, and a bunch of basics. In the sideboard, Gideon and Selfless Spirit are kind of the control matchup cards. Selfless Spirit saves your team from Wraths and Radiant Flames and Planner Outbursts and all that kind of stuff. And Gideon can not only pump your team as an additional Anthem effect, but it's a great threat on its own. In a control matchup, Gideon just closes out games so quickly and it's so difficult to deal with that it's one of your best threats if you're expecting a lot of removal from the opponent, sweepers from your opponent. We also get the Handweir Battlements, Handweir Garrison Wombo combo. Not exactly sure what matchup this is for, but you can kind of steal some games by flipping around into a huge threat, plus giving your team haste for just 1 mana, or one of your creatures haste for just 1 mana is a nice benefit. And then we have Authority of the Councils, another Thalia-esque answer to the Saheeli Rai Felidar Guardian combo, Fragmentize for artifacts, and Release the Gremlins. I guess kinda the standard legal Shatterstorm. Apparently, if you have enough mana, you can kill like 2 or 3 artifacts. An interesting sideboard option, really expensive for a deck like this. I'd be more interested in it in a control deck when you can reasonably pay 5 mana, 7 mana, kill 2 or 3 things. This deck, pretty low to the ground, gonna be hard to kill more than 1 or maybe 2, and if you're killing 2 artifacts, things went pretty bad because you have 5 mana and you probably don't want that, but a good answer to artifacts nonetheless. And that is Red White Humans for Aether Revolt Standard, and that's our instant deck tech for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.